We're back. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here at the Legends of the Ring convention in Monroe, New Jersey, and you're about to be completely damaged.
Completely damaged! Completely damaged!
We are back here live on Completely Damaged. I'm with the one and only the legend, Big Sexy Kevin Nash. Kevin, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Now, for those who don't know, how did you get started in professional wrestling?
I knew the Steiners, and so I worked at a strip club. A lot of guys came in Atlanta, and they said I should get in the business, and looked into it. Went to a Jody Hamilton school that was south of Atlanta, and broke in the business.
Now, in your opinion, what are some of your favorite matches of your career?
I mean, the one with Backlund is, as far as just, that meant something because I never thought I'd be a WWF champion. Shawn Michaels in Your House in Omaha, Bret Hart, Survivor Series, Hunter, Hell in a Cell, Scott Hall, Halloween Havoc in Vegas. That's four.
Now, Madison Square Garden, when the Click came together again, describe that feeling and how was it for you?
I mean, it's anytime the Click's together, it's great. I mean, it's five guys that have been friends for a long time and have endured a lot of trials, tribulations, and more than anything, miles together, and so it's always special. It's nice.
And most importantly, how's your buddy Scott Hall doing, man?
Good. We have done a couple signings together. Everything's great. He's living with Cody's in Atlanta now and taking life easy.
DDP Yoga definitely helped him out.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's not doing the yoga because he had his hip done, and but DDP's influence definitely helped him.
What are your thoughts on the business today compared to WCW and yesteryear?
Everything's changing. It's a different world. It's people have a lot of things to say. Pro and con, but it's like anything else. Baseball. In 1968, when the Tigers won the World Series, I was a huge baseball fan, and I barely watch it now. And I had the last couple of years because the Tigers have done well. But it's like anything else. I think it's cyclic, but it's the demographic that was always so strong was the 13 to 18-year-old white male demographic, and that's like the video game market, And so you're going up against. Grand Theft Auto just did $800 million in 2 weeks. So you're going against, something like that. My son doesn't watch any television. He basically plays video games and watches something on the computer. So, it's just it's hard to get that fan. But when I watch it, it's packed every Monday, and it will be tonight. So.
It's true. Now, what are you up to these days? Any movies in the future, or?
Got a couple in the works. Staying busy. I've got a big project that if it comes through, that'll be nice in January. So I'm trying. I don't have anything really booked after January. So if that project goes, I'll be busy for about 4 months on that. It's an action thing, and it'd be my last action. I'm getting too old.
If people want to follow you, where can they get more information?
My Twitter is Real Kevin Nash. So that's I have a check mark. So that's me, and I'm not on Facebook, although there's about 900 of me. But just on Twitter. So if you want to check me out, that's where I'm at.
Well, Big Sexy, thank you so much for your time, sir. I appreciate it very much. And guys, don't keep it nice and neat. Keep it completely damaged. Damaged fans, we are back, and I'm with longtime fan, actually completely damaged. I'm actually honored. Nick, thanks so much for your time.
How are you, Damaged fans? It's a pleasure to be here with RC. I've been a fan of the show for years now. I've been watching all the interviews that you've done with Jerry Lynn and and the Hurricane and Stevie Richards even just now. It's unbelievable. The best interviewer I've ever seen.
Making me blush, man. Thanks so much. And how did you become a fan of professional wrestling?
I was 4 years old, and I was flipping through the channels, and the remote died with the batteries in it, and it died on SmackDown. And then ever since I was 4 years old, we used to go to KB Toys, and I'd leave all my figures in the boxes. I'd never take them out, and started hanging them on my walls. And now I keep advancing my collection, and I got rooms filled now. Rooms and rooms filled.
Wow. Now, what are some of your favorite matches of watching?
WrestleMania 3, Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. One of the best matches, technical wrestlers, and definitely Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Pontiac Silverdome, WrestleMania 3, unbelievable.
And what do you love most about coming to all these conventions?
You get to meet the guys that you idolize, who you look up to in the ring. I mean, I think that's the coolest thing. If you're able to shake hands with Jimmy Superfly Snuka and meet Paul Roma, the guys that you look up to.
Definitely Steven Richards, of course, right?
Of course, Stevie Richards. Yeah, I grew up watching him. I love him. Absolutely.
Now, what are your thoughts on the business today?
Thoughts on the business? I think it's great. I mean, people can't accept the change from the 80s to present now, but you have to modernize it with the time. You know, John Cena is the new Hulk Hogan of today. Ryback is Ultimate Warrior of yesterday. You know what I mean? So they're recreating the 80s slowly but surely.
Well, Nick, thanks so much for the interview, and thanks for supporting Completely Damaged.
Time, you got it. Pleasure to be here.
Don't keep it nice and neat. Keep it
Completely damaged.
That's right. Back to you guys. What an action-packed day here at Legends of the Ring convention, and I'm with the one and only Skinner. Skinner, thanks for your time.
Well, thank you for having me on, Cameron.
Definitely. Now, for those who don't know, how did you get started in professional wrestling?
Actually, I grew up with Mike Graham. We went to high school together, junior high, and my dad was a prisoner of war in Vietnam. From the time I was 13 to 21, he was a POW for 8 years, and Eddie Graham took me under his wing and, just kind of like treated me as one of his own kids. And I just started into it, and as a young age was doing everything from setting up rings to driving the ring truck, picking up wrestlers, and next thing I know I was a wrestler.
Now, what are some of your favorite matches of your career?
After 42 years in the wrestling business, Cameron, I had so many great opportunities to work with so many great wrestlers. I'd hate to pinpoint any. One of the highlights probably was wrestling Tatsumi Fujinami in 1978, I believe it was, and dropping a title to him in Sapporo.
Now, what are you up to these days?
I'm part of the developmental for the WWE. For the last 6 years, I've been the president and CEO of Florida Championship Wrestling. That was the developmental. We just changed everything over to the NXT. We moved the facility to Orlando, and I'm still running part of the developmental for the WWE.
That's at Full Sail University, right?
Yes, sir.
How is it down there?
It's awesome. I mean, the facility is phenomenal. It's high tech. If you can't learn to be a professional wrestler in that facility and become a superstar for the WWE, you shouldn't be in there.
Now, what are your thoughts on the business today?
The business has evolved, and I'm an older guy after 42 years in it. I've accepted all the changes. I like change. I don't want it to stay the same. I mean, and if it was the same as it was when I started in 1972, I think it would actually be boring to the fans. I like all the new innovation. I like all the technology. I love high-definition television. And then the opening up of wrestling. I mean, to see conventions like this with a lot of my old friends, I love the business still.
Now, who are some guys that you have your eyes on in NXT that you think will be coming up shortly? We got like Chris here, who's Casso. We have Sami Callihan. Who are some of your?
Well, Sami Callihan. We have Alex Rusoff from Belgium. There's a lot of talent there. We have over 100 talent, divas included. It's hard to say who gets their first opportunity. You know, that's almost like being able to look into a crystal ball and predict the future. There's so many talented people in there. It's very competitive there and very intimidating to a lot of people that come there.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And guys, remember, don't keep it nice and neat. Keep it completely damaged. What an action-packed day here is at Legends of the Ring in Monroe, New Jersey at the Crown Plaza Hotel. And remember, fans, don't keep it nice and neat. Keep it completely damaged.